Being a participant in a psilocybin clinical trial and having had some home experiences before, here's what I plan to do to prepare for my next home magic mushroom experience. Back in August, I participated in a psilocybin research clinical trial. The clinical trial evaluated the effects of psilocybin in relation to treatment-resistant depression in individuals with bipolar II disorder. Since my dosing was in August, I don't plan to dose or have a need to dose until December, maybe January. Most study participants report release from their depression for up to 6 months post-dosing. So I want to allow for this waiting period in an effort to not confuse the science. When I do my next hero dose, while I'd love to watch Fantasia again, seriously, check it out on shrooms if you haven't already, my home experience will look more clinical in these 3 ways. 1. Intention setting. I had somewhat done this with a couple of my trips, but it was vaguer in nature, like I'm sad and I can't pinpoint exactly why, so I'm going to take these mushrooms and go deeper within myself. In the clinical trial, I actually identified self-forgiveness and self-compassion as goals that I wanted to come out of the experience having attained. Because of all the talking and the time and really putting intention behind my journey, I was actually able to manifest these things for myself. I do forgive myself more easily and I have a lot more self-compassion. 2. I was allowed to keep my sleep sloth mask, and I have over-the-air Bluetooth headphones already. I created a playlist based on music that I remembered from the clinical trial playlist. I listened to each song, and I didn't put it on the playlist if it didn't sound like an instrumental that would have been included in the clinical trial experience. I am participating in the voluntary 1-year follow-up period. This is a voluntary program where I meet with a doctor once a month to discuss the long-term success of my psilocybin experience. Dr. Gardner told me that while it's great that I have a playlist, he also told me to try the John Hopkins one on Spotify first because it bears the most resemblance to the trial playlist. So I'll be giving that a try, and then I'll likely do another video after I've used my own personal playlist. 3. Integration. Integration is probably the most widely known difference between the clinical setting and the recreational. On previous home psychedelic journeys, I would take the mushrooms around 4 or 5 in the evening after I got everything I needed to get accomplished out of the way. I plan to dose earlier in the day, the same as with the trial. This will allow the time for me to journal about my experience afterwards and begin processing it. In addition to journaling, I plan to have a follow-up session with my therapist to share some of the insights and keep them at the forefront. The trial experience gave me great insights that have helped my depression. Microdosing has kept me feeling great and able to let down my walls emotionally. I'm hopeful that my next experience dose will be equally as life-changing. Do you have any tips that have helped you on your psychonaut journey? I'd love to hear about them in the comments below. That's all for this video. Until next time, my lovely.